If your car's heater is blowing ice cold, the absolute worst thing you can do is drive straight to a mechanic. You're essentially handing them a blank check, often upwards of $2,000 for a dashboard surgery you probably don't need. What if I told you that the secret ingredient to restoring blazing heat costs less than a gallon of milk? Today, I'm going to show you how to make your vents blow twice as hot using a pro-level trick that most shops keep a secret. Stick around until the end because I'm sharing a bonus maintenance hack that prevents 40% of all catastrophic engine failures. Let's get that cabin back to 80 degrees. Number 1. Check the thermostat. Did you know that 30% of all heating failures are caused by a $20 part? If your car is over 8 years old, your thermostat is a prime suspect. Usually, your car will try to warn you with a check engine light, specifically code P0128. This tells you the thermostat is stuck open. Think of the thermostat as a gatekeeper. When it's stuck open, coolant constantly rushes through the radiator even when the engine is freezing. It never gets a chance to heat up, which means you never get a chance to warm up. But here's the kicker. The ECU doesn't always catch this. To verify it yourself, wait until the car has been off for a few minutes, pop the hood, and feel the upper radiator hose. If it feels lukewarm or cool when the engine should be hot, that gate is stuck wide open. But before you go buying parts, check the most obvious culprit first. Number 2. Check the coolant level. It's a massive irony. The fluid designed to keep your engine from melting is the exact same fluid that keeps you from freezing. Yet nearly 80% of drivers never check their coolant until their car is smoking on the side of the highway. When your engine is completely cold, crack the radiator cap. If you see air instead of bright fluid, you've found your problem. The heater core is usually one of the highest points in your cooling system. If the level drops even slightly, air pockets migrate there first. Air doesn't hold heat. Liquid does. If that core isn't packed with hot coolant, your fan is just blowing cold air across a cold metal box. Conversely, don't overfill it. Excessive pressure can stress the seams of that fragile heater core. Number 3. Ensure the car is running at optimal temperature. Your car isn't a space heater. It can't create warmth out of thin air. It relies on waste heat from the combustion process. Take your car for a 10-minute drive and watch the needle. It should sit right in the dead center. If that needle stays pegged at cold even after highway speeds, your engine is running too efficiently for its own good, usually because of that stuck thermostat we mentioned. On the flip side, if it's climbing toward the red, stop immediately. You don't just have a heater problem, you have a "my engine is about to melt" problem. Number 4. Check the AC settings. It sounds simple, but modern climate control systems are unnecessarily complex. Did you know 42% of new car buyers prioritize easy-to-use AC over almost any other tech? If you have an auto button, turn it off. To get maximum heat, crank the dial to the extreme red, set the fan to low initially so you don't blow cold air while the core is warming up, and, this is the pro tip, hit the recirculation button. Why pull in negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit air from outside when you can reheat the 40 degrees Fahrenheit air already in the cabin? It's basic physics. Just a heads up, if your windows start fogging, turn recirculation off. That stuffy air is full of humidity from your breath, which will turn your windshield into an opaque sheet of mist. Number 5. Check the blend door actuator. Ever hear a weird clicking or knocking sound behind your dashboard? That's the sound of your blend door actuator dying. This tiny electric motor moves a plastic flap that routes air either through the heater core or around it. If the actuator fails, that flap might get stuck on the cold side, blocking the heat entirely. Here's how you test it. Turn your car on and cycle the temp knob from extreme cold to extreme hot rapidly. Listen closely to the dash. You should hear a faint whir or a solid thud. If you hear a rhythmic clicking or absolutely nothing at all, your actuator has likely stripped its plastic gears. Number 6. Check the blower motor resistor. If your fan only works on high or doesn't blow at all, your blower motor resistor is toast. These components are notoriously fickle. Some last 20 years, some last 3. To test it, slowly click through every fan speed. If the air doesn't increase in a steady, linear fashion, the resistor is failing to regulate the voltage. The good news is, this is a $100 DIY fix that usually only requires removing a few screws under the glove box. But before you buy a new one, check your fuse box. A 50-cent fuse is a much better fix than a $100 motor. Number 7. Inspect of heater core. If everything else is checked out, you're likely dealing with the final boss of car heating issues, a clogged heater core. You can diagnose this in seconds. Locate the 2 rubber hoses going through the firewall into the cabin. With the engine warm, touch them both. One should be burning hot and the other should be nearly as hot. If one is hot and the other is cold, you have a blockage. Mechanics love this diagnosis because they get to charge you $1,000 to $2,000 to tear your entire dashboard apart. They might offer a flush, but a standard machine flush often ignores the deep-seated sludge. I'm going to show you the CLR flush. It's a $6 solution that works 90% of the time, saving you thousands. How to flush a clogged heater core. If your core isn't leaking, don't replace it, revive it. For about $30 in supplies, including CLR, a garden hose, and some pliers, you can do what a shop charges $250 for. Step 1. Make sure the heater core isn't leaking. Safety first. If your carpet is damp or you smell a sweet maple syrup scent inside the car, your core is leaking. If it's leaking, a flush will only make the hole bigger. Check the AC drain line under the car. If you see green, orange, or blue fluid mixing with the water, your core is compromised and needs replacement. If it's dry, let's proceed. Step 2. Remove the heater core hoses. Wait until the engine is stone cold. Use your pliers to slide the clamps back and pull the hoses off the firewall. Have a bucket ready. Coolant is toxic to pets and smells like a treat to them, so keep it contained. Step 3. Flush out the coolant. Use an air pump or even just your breath through a clean tube to blow the remaining liquid out of the core. We want it empty so the cleaning agent can work at full strength. Step 4. Pour in the CLR. CLR, calcium, lime, and rust remover, is the secret sauce. It's designed for household pipes, but it's a miracle worker on automotive scale. Use a funnel and a scrap piece of hose to fill the core until it overflows. Wear gloves and goggles. This stuff isn't friendly to skin. Step 5. Wait for the magic to happen. Patience is the key. Let it sit for at least an hour. This gives the chemicals time to eat through the calcified junk that's been building up for years. Step 6. Flush out the CLR. Hook up your garden hose, but don't blast it at full pressure. Heater cores are delicate. You only want about 15 psi. Flush from the outlet side first, back flushing, to push the junk back out the way it came. When the water runs crystal clear, you're golden. Step 7. Reattach the hoses. Slide those hoses back on and secure the clamps. You've just performed a $2,000 procedure for the price of a burger. Step 8. Top up and bleed the coolant. This is where most people fail and blow their head gasket. You must get the air out. Use a spill-proof funnel, fill the radiator, and run the engine with the cap off. Watch the bubbles. Those are the heat killers escaping. Once the bubbles stop and the heat is screaming out of your vents, you're done.